Alright, so I'm going to be doing another video of all of my cooler, older, different kind of mowers that I have. Because my mower update video of just every single mower kind of blew up within the 5 days. Figured, why not make one of all my cool and interesting mowers, and plus I actually just got another one too, so that would be cool. This here is a Gravely 408, an all-white version. From what I was told, the normal ones are always orange and white. The orange parts on here are from an orange and white one, but that one stopped running. I don't know what happened to it, and I ended up picking this one up because I wanted another one just like it, because I liked the way, the other one was set up, so I bought another one so I can have two of them. Well, the other one ended up putting out on me, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it, so I took the starter off of this, which was the issue. It wouldn't crank over, so I took the starter off of it, put the other one on, put the belt guard on, and put the seat on. So all the orange is from a Gravely 408. It's just from a different version of a Gravely 408. The all-white version is supposed to be the rarer version of the two. I don't know how true that is, but other than that, this thing is, well, other than it being really cold out, fires right up. It will fire up. It's just cold. I don't want to deal with the throttle with two hands and choke and throttle at the same time. It's on the set low throttle, and I got the camera in my hand. But it will fire up, and I pull my little cart around. I don't have it down here. And then I put parts in it, move things around, tow other motors with it. But, yeah, I think this is a 77 through 80. 75 to 77, I think. I don't know. I have it written down somewhere. But I got new tires in the front. I'm going to be putting new tires on the back. I'm going to be redoing all of this. This is one of my mowers that I'm trying to fully restore, repaint and everything. But it's just going to be a time-taking process, getting the money and getting everything put together. Like those tires, I got those done really fast because I had them laying around, so I just threw them on. But yeah, I'll go up and take a video of my other one, the other Gravely, and show you what that one's about. And then that way you can see the two differences between the color and stuff like that. So here's my other Gravely. This one actually has all the serial numbers and everything on it. This is the one I use for getting parts for mine. Like I said, they're normally orange and yet white. And as you can tell by the other one I showed in this video, white hood, white fenders, there's the fenders, and orange body. Orange body, hood is white. So they're normally orange and white, but that full white one is a different version of it. It's, like I said, the supposedly more rare version. But I took, like I said, the belt shroud off of it, the seat off of this one, and the starter off of this one just to get that other one running. But I've been trying to find another starter because I want to try to get this thing running again. Because all it should need is an actual starter and a tune-up. So, I don't know, I'm hoping. But whenever I got this thing, the rear end was torn apart. And it had the mower deck on it. The transmission case itself was ripped in half and all the gears were pulled out. And the guy just wanted rid of it because he didn't know how to fix it. So I brought it home. I just threw the rear end off to the side. I was just going to take the engine out of it. But while I was on Facebook, I seen a guy wanting to trade a rear end for one of these things for a mower deck. And this thing came with a mower deck, and I wasn't going to mow with it. So I just gave him the mower deck. He gave me the rear end. But it grinds a little bit. Not too worried about it. Like I said, I use this one for parts mainly because I want to get the rarer version running and up and going and all that stuff. So this thing's just for parts for now. My other one doesn't have this plate on it, so I'm gonna have to take all these screws out and take this plate out. Like I said, it's all gonna go back to white on that one. It's not gonna be orange anymore because that one was originally white. All the parts I am taking off of this one are going onto that one, are the same exact part, just different years, and that's why it's different colors, supposedly from what I got from research. But they're still all original Gravely parts. they're all going to be painted white. Even if they were orange, they're getting painted white because they are the original part and they are going on what they are supposed to be going on. I'm not taking something from a Cub Cadet and putting it on there and, you know, making it work. I'm actually taking parts off of another one to make it work, just changing the color up. So I got another Gravely sitting here. Like I said, they're normally rear engine riders like this one is. The gas tank is in the front, but this one is going to be used for parts for another project of mine. Fun fact that I did not know about these things is the transmission actually bolts completely apart from the front of the frame. And that's where the fun part is going to be coming from for the idea I have. Since from here all the way up is separate, going to take the gas tank out and bolt it to another complete mower. Just take the front axle off the other one. So it's going to be a super long steer in the front, shift in the back, and it's going to take 2 people to run it, and it's going to be a limo mower. But I'll get you, and let's just take a walk real quick of what that is. Yeah, I tried messing with it, but it's solid. The engine's locked up. The only thing good on it, it's a 812. There's the hood for it. But yeah, that's just going be for parts. It's not worth putting time into to me to get up and running again, because there's the hood and the fenders are just right over there. So in my shed here, I have an old Briggs & Stratton, I believe push mower engine, but it also could have been off of a rider. I honestly do not know. A while back, I actually took it to a shop so they can put a new pull string stuff on it, which they did, and I haven't messed with it since. I tried messing with it last night because I figured out that I want to put this on the Ford instead. The little Ford LT75 I have. I want to put this on there. Well, the pull string broke on me again. It's just a cord this time. Easy fix, I can do that. So, I have this old thing. Hopefully I'm going to get this up and running and get it onto the Ford. I know it's not the original engine for it, but it would be cool to have it on there, just so I can have the Ford running around, and I'll go show you a video of the Ford right here. So this is my Ford LT75. Yes, it's all torn apart. I have 2 different engines because I'm trying to find an engine that fits and works for me, and easiest, coolest thing to have on it. I have an old leaf chipper engine that's sitting on it right now that I wanted to do, but like I said in the engine video, just should be connected right to this one, but that engine I want to put in here instead. So it is a Briggs. I don't know what this one is, so I want to put a Briggs in here because a Briggs was originally in here when I bought it. I don't know if it's original, but it would be cool. This is the first electric start though, so being a pull cord is going to be a downgrade to it. It's not going to be fully original, but I'm not wanting fully original on this thing. I just love driving this thing around. It's so cool. It's so tiny. It's my first mini mower that I got, so I just want to drive it around again. I had an old snowblower engine that I put in there, and it worked great until the whole top end blew apart on me. But it was fun. It does have a Craftsman seat on it though, and I do have all the parts right here for it to put it all back together. I'm not redoing this one paint wise. This one's just going to be my cool little putter, put on the trailer behind that Continental and drive around with it, because I just like this thing the way it is. I don't want to change this one up too much or do anything different to this. But that's, well, yeah, it was enough to say electric start on the hood itself. So I mean, for it to say that and then me go down to push start or pull start, I personally don't care, but other people might. So this is off of a mower that I'm gonna walk out and show you here. I just need to put a new spring on there because it doesn't retract. So this is it over here. This is an old Continental. It's a tiny little thing. I just picked this up a day or two ago. So as you can see, that's the top shield that's missing. But this thing is cute, tiny little mower. I want to actually get this running and put a cart behind it so I can haul the Ford. And I still have that Squire applegate, which I'll try to take a video of it, but it's actually in the shop right now. Because it needs a pull string redone on it, and I'm just terrible with that spring stuff inside. I cannot do it whatsoever, no matter how much I tried. But it's actually chain driven just like the Squire on an old 3-speed rear end. 4 is reverse. I have a carburetor that I haven't seen on a mower before, which is actually really cool and interesting to me. This will be fun to dig into. The running boards are plastic. I do not think they are the original ones, because there are mounts. I don't know if they put the mounts on or not, or if these are different ones. I tried looking this mower up before, but I couldn't find anything on it. I don't know if I just didn't look hard enough, but I'm going to try to get it all to original condition, fix the back fiberglass fenders on it. And other than that, it honestly doesn't need too much. I'm going to leave it the way it is. I know it's a little beat up, but it's not terrible. I like it. So I'm going to try to get everything close to original as I can get, fix it up here and there, and get this thing running so I can put a little trailer behind it and pull other ones around for tractor shows and stuff like that. But I don't know, I just think it's a really cool, cute little mower. Solid axle in the back. Old Briggs & Stratton. I know it's a Briggs & Stratton engine in it. I don't know what horsepower though, but if I get it running, it gets running. So this is my Montgomery Wards Gilson. It has a 16 and I think just a 16. I don't know if it's half or just a 16. Opposed twin Briggs & Stratton. The carburetor is up top, which this is the first mower I ever seen with the carburetor up top. Same with the exhaust. But I'll get more in depth on the other one I have, because it's out in the open. This one's actually under my little shed I made for it, because I want to keep it nice and clean as best as I can, actually. But I got a plow set up for it. The plow is right there. But this is the second mower I actually ever bought. I was going to turn it into a race mower, but it became so much of a workhorse that I just fell in love with it as it sits. Got the 12-inch 5-bolt rear end, and then tires and rims. It got the 8-inch front rims. Every time I tried looking this up, it either was a single horsepower or a bottom shaft pulleyed engine. I could not find a lot, if any. I think there was only one that I found on YouTube or anywhere that had the 16 opposed Briggs on it. So this is the second one that I know of that has a shafted opposed Briggs on it. Everything else has a belt driven underneath going to the rear end, because this is a drive shaft leading to the rear transmission. Like I said, I'll show you on a different one what I'm talking about. But I've been having a hard time trying to find, you know, a different one just like this. Everything else is like the other one I'm going to show you here in a minute. So here is another Montgomery Wards Gilson, like the generally the white and orange one I showed you. Like I said, I only found other ones that are single cylinder, which this is a single cylinder. It has a drive shaft that comes out like the old Cup Cadets here, and goes under shaft into this transfer box to a belt down to the transmission itself, and then you just shift like normal. So that's what I mean, like everything else was belt driven, so it had a different rear end under it in the ones I've found, or it had, you know, the single cylinder on it like this one does. So I haven't found another opposed twin or even a twin shaft driven from any other videos that I've looked up or anything else that I could find. So I don't know, I just thought that was really cool that I could only find, you know, mine and another one of it being that way. So I mean, I bought this one just for parts because I couldn't find another one anywhere. Anyhow, even if it was a different, transmission or something. But this being a drive shaft into the same thing I have, even though it's a single, I can still use it for parts. I can still take the drive shaft off, rear end, and everything else should bolt right up to it. So, I don't know. I got it for parts to fix that one. I could try to get this one running, but I accidentally scrapped the starter. And I don't even know what starter to get because I don't even know what engine it is. All the engine shrouds are off. I can't get a number or anything to it. But that's the Montgomery Wardses. So now on to my Cub Cadets. I got a Cub Cadet 124, another 124, and a 105. I got newer ones, and I have a bunch of other one of these. I had an all yellow version, and I had another cool one with a 3-point hitch on the back, but I ended up getting rid of those. I just picked these two up for free, and I picked this up for like $10. So I always loved the old school Cub Cadets. Always loved them. Always wanted one. I've had them. I got rid of them. Had them, got rid of them. Had them, got rid of them. Now I'm just keeping these ones. I bought this one for, like I said, $10 just because I wanted an old school Cub Cadet. Just to have. Just to keep in here for whatever reason. For parts. Just to say I have one. And then I got these two. I think the deck is shot on this one because it came with 2 extra decks up top there. And plow. And this one has a plow. I'm going to combine these two to get one good plowing mower for me. This one is a manual transmission. This one is a hydrostatic. So I like the hydrostatics. I've had a bunch of hydrostatics running with me before. That's the only ones that I kept running. I never had a manual. That one's also a manual. I never had a manual one that actually ran and drove that I can drive around. I've always had the ones that were hydrostatic running and driving around. So that's just what I'm used to. I know it's not the best ones, but with the old school Cub Cadets like these, they are still tanks. I pulled down a old camper. The video should be in my YouTube somewhere. I pulled down an old camper with one. They're little tanks. I've beat the crap out of mine before, and it just still goes and just keeps trucking. But that one doesn't have an engine. This one does. 124 should be a 12 horsepower then. 105 should be a 10 horsepower. So this is just one of those later projects. You see how many I have. I just got to get around to actually working on them and doing stuff with them. But the guy changed over the headlights to LED lights, but I still got the one I want to keep with the old school, grill. I might take that plate out right there and put it on this one just for something different. But yeah, those are my Cub Cadets. So I got another Montgomery Wards. This one is a tiny mower. This one might actually be the one I pull around on a trailer because it has no tires. The rear wheels are welded in place. Front doesn't have any tires, no engine. Hood's not even bolted on. So this one might just be my little piece that I keep on the trailer and strap to the trailer and pull around with the Continental or the Ford or the Squire applegate or something like that. And I'll bring it to shows. They're all small. I'll fit them easily on a trailer all together, even with the wagon, even if I leave the wagon, underneath this, just to move it around. But I don't know. Just one of those ones that are kind of a little too cute to get rid of. So keep it around. Like I said, bring it to tractor shows and stuff like that on a little wagon just for oohs and ahs and looking at everything else like that. So I got an old Speedex here. I had two. I sold the one so I can try to get parts to fix one of my derby mowers. This is not the original engine. This is actually off a snowblower. But I thought about putting it on, but I think I might want to do it differently and do a different engine on it and use that for something else. But big tires in the back. I don't know if I actually got the size of them. Oh, they're 15s. There's a 15-inch rims in the back. 8-inch rims up front. This is a minimalistic actual mower. Like, there's nothing really to it, just the frame and transmission with the engine. You pull this lever, the rear end goes up and down, which I thought was really, really cool. I wanted to get one of those old, like an old mower lift that has the, you know, spots for the wheels to go on. Build a little bracket off of this so I can use this as a tow truck. But I mean, like I said, I got so many other ones that it just, which one do I work on next? How do I fix this? What do I do here? You know, I just picked up that Continental. I have so many of them, I just don't know, you know, how long it's going to take me to get to these things, to work on them. Because my main focus are my derby mowers. So all my cool projects kind of sit to the side. But I mean, this should be a S19 Speedex from what I heard from the guy. It does have a Craftsman seat. I know, I don't know if it's original or not, but I'm going to be looking for a pan seat for it just to be, you know, cooler. Transmission does work still. Everything still does work on it. I just need to find an engine and a belt to get to it. That was a loud bang. I think the FedEx driver is here. Something. But I don't know. One of those things that just, I got to get to it. Like, I will get to the Cub Cadet, or I'll get to the Gravely to restore it. I'll get to the Montgomery Wards. All it needs, all the one in there needs is a starter. It's just time consuming, and I got other projects. I keep getting more and more and more and never fix the ones that I have. So it's just one of those things that I'll get around to at some time to get running. Hopefully one day I'll have all these cool old ones running. I have a bunch of different parts. Like I said, I got the mower decks up here for those Cub Cadets. I got, you know, a bunch of different cool things for everything. I want to restore them all, have like a little old school mowers fleet, and just use them here and there and switch them out and be able to do different things with different ones and just have fun with it. So just when I said I had too many mowers to work on, I went and bought myself a big old tractor. This is a Satoh Mitsubishi Bison. My dad knows more than, you know, what engine is actually in it, but it is a S650G Satoh tractor. Japan. Oh, it's a 25 horsepower. Big old engine in it. Only makes, I still got it. When I was moving it, I had the tire ratchet strapped to it. But the big old engine in it makes 25 horsepower. Now mowers have a 25 horsepower on it. A little lawnmower like that has the same amount of horsepower as this big tractor. It's all gear ratio. But I bought this thing for myself. My dad has one, and I'll show you a video on that one real quick. But I always liked his. His was cool. I grew up, you know, riding on it with my dad, cutting grass, working on it, stupid things like that. So I always wanted to get myself one. I got mine with a sunroof on it, which was pretty cool to me. But another thing, like I said, got way too many things to work on, so this is at the bottom of the pile. But it's getting used for parts right now, because I'll show you here in a minute what my dad's looks like. But this one has sat for a while. The rim is shot, but I already got a set of tires and rims for it. We took all we have a spark plug out, we have the coil and the points and condensers and everything out of it just to get my dad's running. It was running a bit rough, so we went and fixed his, got his running, and I'll go over and walk over to his now. So here's my dad's Satoh. It doesn't have the sunroof on it, but it has the fenders on it. It's again 25 horsepower. It's the same thing, S650G. We painted over the hood to get it looking good again. We have the plow on it. We had the brush hog on it. We had the tire pop off of the spindle. You can see the bearings right there, all worn out. So my tractor's getting torn apart for parts for this to get this one running, because this one actually runs and cuts and does our field and fixes our driveway with the plow. So this one's a bit more needed than my little project over there. But we have I forget what I was gonna say, but we'll go to this then. The tire here, you can tell it's a bit different than that one. It's a bit more worn. We blew the tire and it got all chewed up because one of our brackets on the back for the 3-point hitch broke, and the brush hog went into this tire and ripped it all apart. We were looking for one, but they were pretty expensive. I ended up finding a set on Facebook Marketplace for $100, but they were, like I said, worn. But hey, it's better to have air in the tire and a worn tire than have a tire just flopping around all out of air. So we went to the guy to get it in our little S10. This thing was funny to put in an S10. They were hanging out the sides. it was fun. But we get there, guys like, oh yeah, sorry about them being worn weird, because one side is, you know, tall, the other side is flat, the other side's tall, flat, tall, flat. He's like, yeah, these were a steer tire for my tractor. And me and my dad just looked at him like, what the heck? Because we're used to this. This is a rear tire. You know, this is the biggest tractor that we have until, you know, a year ago. But we thought that was just funny as could be. And we wanted to see that tractor because they always impressive to have this as a front tire. It is 11.2 by 24. So for that to be a front tire, we were in awe. But we ended up getting those, put it on, and it's been working ever since. Like I said, we have tires and rims. There's the other tire on top to match. Tire on top to match the one that was on the tractor, and then the two that I just picked up with tires and rims. But those are turf tires. These are, you know, ag tires, the tractional tires. But yeah, this one's a little bit in more rough shape, but like I said, we had it since I was a kid. That's before when I was a kid. You know, I wasn't even born yet, my dad had this. So it's been around. It's had its fair share of breaks and fixes and everything else, but it still goes strong, so we still keep it around, and we just fix it as it goes and patch up whatever needs to be fixed and go from there. But yeah, it's basically all my cool mowers, tractors, all the old ones, all the cool ones that I have. There are definitely many more to come. I'm not even saying I'm done. There's way more to, you know, come around. And actually, I keep forgetting about this one because it's a true shame. I want to fix this thing. I've tried fixing this thing, but I can't get to it. Old Farmal Cub. We had it covered. Our cover keeps blowing off of it, but we have a bunch of different things to work on. A bunch of cool old mowers, cool old tractors. Just time and money, and can't figure out what's wrong with some of them. We had this one out. We had it torn apart. We rebuilt the engine, and it still doesn't want to run, and a whole bunch of stuff. But oh well. We'll get to them all eventually. Get them all up and running. If not, then I'll have cool old mowers just to show and bring around and, you know, just do other cool stuff with. Actually, it's not old, but it's cool. Let me walk through here real quick. A Steelers Simplicity mower. Actually licensed by Steelers. It was a giveaway. It was a giveaway thing for it. I don't know how it actually worked, but it was a giveaway mower. Like I said, actually licensed by them. Has a front grill guard on it, just like, you know, the helmets they would have. I'm trying to look for the sticker, but I don't know. There's a sticker on it that actually says, you know, it was one of so many actually made. But I don't know. Like I said, I just find so many cool different things, and I just buy them because I know they're not going to go to the junkyard whenever I buy them. I just can't get the time or money to get them all fixed at the same time. So I eventually slowly start working on them. But okay, so this is a few pictures of the Squire applegate that I have picked up. It is currently in the shop right now, so I wasn't able to actually take a video of it, but I was able to snap a few pictures. From what I was told about the numbers on the engine itself, from what I could put together, and this picture right here will show, I got it at a 69, so it should be a 1969 7 horsepower Briggs & Stratton. Little 3-speed chain driven, just like the Continental was, but it should be a cute little mower. I cut my grass with it a little bit ago. It just needs a few things to get fixed up, and it should be good to go after that. But I don't know. Couldn't really find any other Squire applegates that look similar to this, so it should be something interesting to get running.